One of the biggest leaks in gaming history took place this week when 90 separate video clips of Grand Theft Auto 6 got posted online. These showcase a whole bunch of things from the game, including gameplay demos, animation tests, and more. In today's video, we'll take a look into everything that got leaked, as well as Rockstar Games' response to the whole thing. So let's dive right in. First off, the footage was originally posted to the GTA forums. While the leaked GTA 6 footage has now found its way to just about every nook and cranny of the internet, it was initially posted to the GTA forums by a user named Teapot Uber Hacker. Not really the most menacing name, but they've done an immense amount of damage. As a part of the leak, the hacker showcased footage that was labeled early development footage by developer Rockstar Games. There are over 90 clips which include animation tests, level layouts, and gameplay demos, so calling it extensive would be an understatement. The footage also confirmed an earlier leak that GTA 6 would feature the game's first female protagonist. From the clips that were leaked, the player is seen controlling a female character who, in classic GTA fashion, is holding a diner hostage. The hacker, Teapot Uber Hacker, stated that they had access to internal Rockstar employee communications on the Slack messaging app. This is how they managed to get their hands on all these videos and files. Initially, the leaked footage was met with a bit of skepticism. It didn't quite look up to the caliber that people had in mind when they thought about GTA's hotly anticipated sequel. But on Monday, Rockstar Games confirmed that the leak was in fact real. They posted on their social media accounts that they'd faced a network intrusion by an unauthorized third party. Next, what was the game developer's full response to the leak? Rockstar Games gave us the classic "we're not angry, we're disappointed" response. On their social media, the company stated that they were extremely disappointed to have any details of their next game shared in such a manner. It's clear that the footage isn't up to par, and many people online have already made this quite clear through their less than flowery responses. But the fact is that every game looks like this during development. Still, it's not a great first look, and will surely end up souring some people's opinion of GTA 6, even before they've given it a proper shot. The game developer further added that they don't think GTA 6 will suffer from any disruptions or delays as a result of the leak. And while we're sure there's quite a bit of chaos at the company right now, the developer doesn't anticipate any long-term effect on the development of their ongoing projects. They ended the message by saying that their work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and they will remain committed to delivering an experience to their players which will exceed their expectations. They hope to showcase the game at a later time when it's ready and in a state worth showing. It's definitely a bit sad to have things like this happen, especially to a company that is as passionate about its franchises as Rockstar Games. But their response is certainly hopeful, and so we think that they'll bounce back soon enough. Though we should mention, not everyone is convinced Rockstar Games will be fine anytime soon. While the team behind GTA 6 might state that their projects won't suffer any long-term interruptions, industry insiders have a different opinion altogether. Jason Schreier, who works for Kotaku and is famous for having the inside scoop when it comes to the gaming industry, recently gave his 2 cents on the whole situation. The US video game journalist said the leaks were a nightmare for the developer and that they could end up affecting the company's projects for an undetermined period of time. He also called it one of the biggest leaks in video game history, and rightfully so. We can't even begin to think of a leak that was as massive, especially for a game as anticipated as Grand Theft Auto 6. Plus, we can't forget the fact that the hacker also has access to the game's source code. That's basically like if they have the game's blueprint. This raw coding was written by the developers, and if made public, could severely compromise the internal structure of the entire game. The sheer popularity of the leak also makes it a much bigger deal than Rockstar Games might let on. The hacker stated that they woke up to 3,000 Telegram DMs and that they're now looking to negotiate a deal with Rockstar or its parent company, Take-Two Interactive. We'd be lying if we said this hacker wasn't acting exactly how we expect the protagonists of a GTA game to be. They've clearly become inspired by all the Grand Theft Auto games they've played over the years. Plus, the FBI is looking into the hack now too, just when you thought things couldn't get even more insane. Apparently, the FBI is jumping into the matter. The leak wasn't an isolated event, because the Uber app apparently suffered from a similar hacking last week. The timing of these two events, and the same hacker being behind both, has caused the FBI to get involved, according to a press release by Uber. In the press release, they stated that the same actor who was responsible for the attack on the app was also the one who breached video game developer Rockstar Games. Though, let's just say, that's not exactly the biggest discovery, because the hacker quite literally claimed responsibility for both of them. Uber is now working closely with both the FBI and the US Department of Justice on the matter, and we'll support their efforts as they uncover just who this mysterious Teapot Uber hacker is. As it seems, the hacker wasn't really working alone. In fact, Uber believes that the person may be involved with a hacking group known as Lapsus $, who's also been responsible for prior attacks done on companies like Microsoft, Cisco, Samsung, Nvidia, and Okta. Uber stated that the hacking group uses the same techniques in all their hacks, which is quite likely to be true. The notorious Teapot Uber hacker apparently uses both the company's Slack channels to infiltrate their private data. Wrapping up this segment, let's unveil the mastermind behind Lapsus. If you're wondering just who the mastermind behind the hacker group is, it turns out he might be a 16-year-old from Oxford in the UK. Earlier this year, a young man was accused of being the leader of Lapsus and arrested for acquiring over $14 million through his hacks. He was later doxxed by rival hackers and taken into custody. With the FBI and the US Department of Justice narrowing down the hacker behind the Uber and Rockstar game leaks, it's possible that they might end up being caught sooner or later. And with that, let's move on to some related news. Other news, up next, Take-Two Interactive is issuing takedown notices for the leaked GTA 6 footage. While the damage has already been done, Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar Games, is still trying to put out fires. They've been issuing copyright takedown notices for the footage, but as you'd expect, once something is out there on the internet, it's almost impossible to get rid of. That said, most news publications have refrained from adding screenshots of the leaked footage or links to any of the videos. But finding the 90-minute leaked gameplay isn't too tough, especially if you know where to look. It's very unlikely that the Two Interactive will be able to scrub the internet clean of the footage, but it seems like they're going to try regardless. Coming up, GTA 6's playable protagonists were a part of the leak. If you've gotten a glimpse of the leaked GTA 6 footage, you might have noticed that the game features the series' first female protagonist. But she won't be alone. Players will be able to play as two different characters this time around. The recent leak showcased the names of these two characters. Lucia and Jason are joining the roster. That said, because this footage wasn't meant to make its way to players, it's likely that it's really early development stuff, and so it might get changed by the time the game releases. Finally, Grand Theft Auto 6 might include some new stealth features. In a short clip that made its way to the internet recently, we see a GTA 6 character on the ground in a prone position, but that's not all. They can be seen crawling, and as they make their way across the floor, they encounter a small box that they push to the side. This might seem like a very small thing, but it's actually an upgrade from GTA 5, where you can't be prone or crawl at all. So it seems GTA 6 will be finally adding stealth mechanics to the franchise. That said, the version we've seen in the leaked footage doesn't seem too in-depth, and it's likely that we'll get to see this mechanic explored a lot more in the final version of the game. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about the GTA 6's leak? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.